Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, Journey to Happiness. And if you're new here, welcome to my channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and all that good stuff. So it's dark because I just got off work and I'm gonna try to make this the last video that I do in the dark, but it's just more convenient because I'm already out and I just got off work because tomorrow I have a lot going on. So yeah. So I'm gonna do a little story time about the time that I almost didn't graduate high school. Um, it's gonna be this is a little embarrassing, but I'm gonna be completely transparent with y'all, completely honest. So yeah, if you care to hear this story time, stay tuned. So oh, this video is not gonna be edited because I'm recording off of a different phone or whatever. But so I don't know why I did that. But anyway, so um just a little information to give y'all. When I was in high school, um, from my freshman year to my senior year, I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. I was not a good student. I didn't really get good grades like that, unless it was for like PE class or like an art class or something one of those real easy, simple classes. If it wasn't that, I didn't really get good grades like that. I was like a C D student. I got mostly C's and D's. And the crazy thing is, not because I was, wasn't smart or I was, stupid or anything. It's because I just simply didn't care. I didn't put any effort into getting good grades, I put very low effort because the mindset that I had was at the time was, what's the point in trying to get good grades? Okay, if I get an A on the test, right? Okay, I got the A, like, yay. Now what? I was thinking, like, oh, I'm not getting paid for it. So what's the point in taking the time to go home, study for tests, put in an extra effort and stuff, trying to understand the material when I'm not getting paid for it? I would say, like, okay, once I become an adult and I get a job, like, I'll put effort into my job because I'm actually getting paid to work there. That was my mindset. That's what I always said. When I become an adult and get a job, when I actually start making money, okay, I'll put effort into my job because I'll be getting paid for it. But if I get an A on this test, I'm not. I get the A, okay, it looks pretty on paper, but I'm not getting paid for it. So why? I might as well just watch TV when I get home instead of study for this test. So that was my mindset. I know that's freaking stupid as hell, y'all, but I was young, and I'm just being honest. That was my mindset. Um, and my dad, he wasn't that strict on me as far as grades. Like, he would give me a talk like, okay, Joanna, you need to do better. And I would be like, okay, I'm gonna do better. But he wasn't really, you know how some parents are more stricter, like, if their kid doesn't make at least a B, like, okay, I'm gonna take away your phone, or I'm gonna take away this, I'm gonna take away that, until you get those grades up. My dad never really did that. Like, he would talk to me. He would say, okay, you need to work on your grades more, Joanna. We're gonna get you a tutor, or we need whatever you need to do. You need to put more effort into it. So he would give me the talk, but he never punished me for having bad grades. So yeah, also, he was raising me because my mother passed away when I was 12. So he had help from, like, my aunts and stuff when it came to doing, like, girls stuff. But as far as my grades, he was raising me on his own. But anyway, so my senior year, so basically throughout my high school career, I just did whatever I had to do to get by to the next grade. I did literally, like, the bare minimum to get to the next grade. Because I always said it would be so embarrassing to me to not make it to the next grade. Like, that was my biggest fear. At the end of the year, that was my biggest fear. Like, oh my God, if I ever get held back a grade, for, like, to me, at that time, to me, that would be the most embarrassing thing. Like, I would, like, if that happened to me, that was my mindset. So when it got towards the end of the year, that's when I did probably put the most effort in to it. Not because I actually cared about my grade, but I didn't want to be embarrassed by being held back, because I went to a very small school in a very, very, very small town, like a very small town. So anyway, so my senior year came. I never was held back or anything. I made it to my senior year. I passed. I managed to barely pass my classes, to make it to the next grade level, right? And the end of the year is coming, right? So when I was in school, in the end of the year, we had what you called a EOC. That stands for end of course test. Now, you had to pass the EOC to make it to the next grade level. That was a requirement. If you didn't pass the EOC, they would give you they give you a second chance. And if you didn't pass it on the second chance, you would have to be held back a whole school year. And this was my senior year, so I definitely didn't want to be held back. And I was like failing biology. Excuse me, y'all. I'm just getting over a cold, so if I cough a lot in this video, that's the reason why. I was failing biology. I was failing, was I failing math? I was either failing or making a D in math. I believe I was failing history. And y'all, the reason I was failing these classes simply because I did not put the effort into studying. When I took biology, I literally, and it was my second time taking it, because I took it my junior year, but I failed it, so I had to take it again my senior year. And like, I literally had put no effort into that class throughout the whole semester. I did not put no effort into even trying to pass that class. And like I said, y'all, this was when I was young and dumb. That was like, I never studied for not one quiz, not one test. I just didn't care. I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't care. So yeah, so reality started to kick in though. Excuse me. Because this was my last semester of my senior year of high school. And so it was getting that time of the year to get ready to take the EOCs again, right? So I got my report card back, and this was they gave us like a week to prepare for each class. So I had to take an EOC for biology, an EOC for history, and an EOC for my math class, right? And I was failing biology, right? So me and my friend Jarvis, I remember he was failing too. I think he was like me. He didn't really care that much about getting good grades either. Me and him were both failing. We were good friends. And we was like, God, Jarvis, what we gonna do? We both seniors, and we need to pass this EOC to pass this class, or we're not gonna be able to graduate. We're not gonna be able to walk the stage, and this is gonna be so freaking embarrassing. That's what I was thinking. And I had it in my mind, y'all gonna think I'm so crazy. And this is so dumb. But I said, you know what? If I don't pass and I'm not able to graduate on time my senior year, I'm gonna run away. That's what I said. Excuse me. I said, I'm gonna run away. I don't know where, but there's no way I'm facing these people, because like I said, I lived in a very, very, very small town. The type of town that everybody knows everybody. And if you don't know everybody, if you don't know somebody that knows that person knows you. You know what I'm saying? A very small town. It didn't even have a Walmart. So we had to go to the next city over to go to a Walmart, y'all. We just had like a dollar store. And I was not even the people in the school I was ashamed if I didn't pass, but like my family, because I knew I was going to have family from coming down from Atlanta, from Raleigh and stuff, wanting to come to my high school graduation, and I didn't want to let my dad down, my grandma, my brother, because he was excited. My brother is 10 years older than me. Both my brothers, they're way older than me, and especially my brother that's a police officer. He wanted to come to my graduation, and I told him I might even want to go to my graduation. He was like, "No, if I have to make you go, Joanna, I'm watching you cross that stage." He thinks he's my dad sometimes. I'm watching you cross that stage. You going to your graduation. So this was a big deal, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't want to look I was gonna be embarrassed in front of my family too. So I don't know how we found this out, but somehow we found out that even if you're failing a class, if a teacher decides to let you pass the class, if you pass the EOC, you can still pass the class. So, like, even though me and Jarvis were both failing biology, I forgot the teacher's name. This was a long time ago. We're going to call her Miss Smith. If Miss Smith decides, okay, they failed my class throughout the whole semester, but they did good on their EOC and, of course, tests, I'm going to go ahead and pass them for my class. Excuse me. She said we could pass. She would pass. I mean, if she decided to do that, we can still pass this biology class and graduate. And it's for the biology class, right? So after class one day, me and Jarvis was talking about it. Excuse me, y'all. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Oh my God. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't edit on this camera, so just y'all gonna see this. I'm looking for some cough drops. I got one here. So me and Jarvis decided to ask her. Oh my God, sorry. Me and Jarvis decided to ask her, Miss Smith. We approached her after class because, of course, we didn't want to talk about this in front of the whole class. We didn't want them to know that we was failing. We said, Miss Smith, we was wondering if we could make a deal with you. And she was like, okay, what kind of deal? And at first, I didn't think she was going to do it because she seemed like a more stricter teacher. She was one of them more, she wasn't mean, but she wasn't very laid back either. Because you know how some teachers are more laid back. So we didn't know if she was going to say yes or not. My cough dropped. We said, we was wondering, we know we're both failing your class, but if we pass the EOC or if we do good on the EOC, can you pass us for the class, the semester? She said, yeah, sure. If y'all, I'm sorry. Gosh, I should have brought my other phone so I could edit this out. I'm sorry. I might make it part 2 because this video is getting long. But she said, sure, if y'all do good on the EOC, I will pass y'all for this class, which means you will pass my biology class for this semester. So, when me and Jarvis walked off, he was like, okay, Joanna, we got to do this. We got to do this. We got to pass it. We got to do good on this EOC. We got to do this. That's what he was saying. I was like, okay. So, the next day in class, because she helps every student prepare for the EOC that day. Meaning she tells us, what we need to study. Not exactly, of course, but she's giving us an idea of what we need to go over and study for the EOC, right? And she gives every student a study guide. She was like, guys, if you want to do good on this EOC, and she was talking to the whole class, you need to go over this study guide that I gave y'all. Go over it. Excuse me. Sorry, y'all. So, I think the study guide was 100 questions. And keep in mind that this biology EOC exam, it covers the whole semester. Not just chapter 1, 2, 3. It goes, because y'all know, if you took a class before and you have a final exam at the end of the semester, like that, it goes over oh my God, it goes over the whole semester. So it's going to be a bunch of questions from every chapter since chapter 1. So you need to know everything. You know what I'm saying? You need to have a really good general idea and understanding of all the material that she's that we've been going over for the past, I think a semester is 4 months. So yeah. So what I did was, I think it was 2 nights before the EOC for my biology EOC. I took the study guide, and when I tell y'all, I studied my ass off for those 2 days and nights. Excuse me. At the time, I had a boyfriend. I told y'all about him, the one that went to my high school graduation, the one that treated me so good and stuff. Me and him, we would talk on the phone like at least 3 or 4 times a day. Like, and sometimes we would talk hours at a time. We were very in love, like very in love, right? I told him, baby, I love you, but for the next 2 days, excuse me, we're not going to be able to talk like we normally do. Like, we still going to talk. We will still talk, but it'll be like, hey, baby, how was your day? Good, how was your day? We might talk for a quick 5 minutes, and that's it. And I might text them throughout the day, but that's all, because I had to stay focused. I said I got to focus and study so I can pass this dang EOC, so I could graduate. Because I had to pass biology to graduate, and I had to pass this EOC. So that them 2 days, when I tell y'all I was locked in, I wasn't on no kind of social media or anything. I went to my room, I had a little study area, got the study guide, and I also got the biology book for the class. Honey, I studied my fucking, excuse my language, but I studied my ass off. And I brought myself, I believe, like 3 energy drinks, and I stayed up all night long studying. And this is the class that I was failing all semester long, and I was just studying for 2 days straight. So the day came for the exam, right? I take the exam, and I think the next day, Miss Smith, what she did is every student had like a student ID number, right? And she would post if we passed or not outside the classroom door, but she would use our student ID. That way, our names wasn't attached to it, so other people couldn't know our test if we passed or not. So I'm searching for my number. I knew my number by heart, and guess what, y'all? I passed. I passed the EOC for my biology class, and y'all, I was so nervous when I approached her door to look to see if I passed or not. When I tell you, my heart was beating a mile a minute. Now, I didn't know I had 2 chances, because like I said, back then they gave us 2 chances to take the EOC, and I did good the first time. And guess what, y'all ain't gonna believe this. I didn't believe it. Later that day, Miss Smith pulled me to the side and said, Joanna, I said, yes, did you know that you scored the highest on that exam? And I said, what? Are you serious? She said, yes. Now let me ask you something, young lady. How come you couldn't do this the whole time you was in my class? And I said, I don't know. And she was like, good job, boy, congratulations. And the reason I want to share this with y'all, and Jarvis, he passed too. So Jarvis must have studied hard like I did, because he passed too, y'all. And I was telling y'all this because, when I want to put my mind to something, if I want something bad enough, I can do it. If I really want to succeed at something, I can do it if I really want to. That's just like the same thing when I said, if he wanted to, he would. Because that's very true. If you want something, you're going to do whatever it takes to get to your goal, you're going to do it. Because that whole semester for the past 3 or 4 months, I made it D, F. It went down to F. How in the world did I pass that exam and made a high score? How? because I put in the effort it took. I knew I wanted to graduate. Honestly, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I didn't care about that grade. The main thing I cared about is being able to graduate on time and not be embarrassed in front of my friends and family and my boyfriend and having to tell people I didn't graduate. And like I said, I was gonna run away because I that's what I was thinking. I'm gonna make a part two to this tomorrow because there's more to this that I have to tell y'all, but this video is already long. But the point I do want to make is, if I really want to do something, I know I could do it. I wasn't failing the class because I was dumb. I wasn't failing it because I was stupid or anything like that. I just didn't care about the grade, so I didn't try. I literally was not trying. So that lets me know, like, girl, if you want to make good grades and stuff, you're capable of doing it. You could do it. You just gotta put the effort. Stop being lazy and do what you need to do to do it. Cause how else could I pass a biology exam that is literally on every single chapter of the class? And I only studied for 2 days. For 2 days. And I passed. I made the highest score in the class. And my teacher, she was very proud of me. She was like, girl, you could have made an A in this class the whole time. So yeah, I'm gonna go now, y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and comment below. And like I said, I'm going to make a part 2 of this because there's more to this story that I need to tell you. But I'm running out of time now. So yeah, I will see y'all in the next video.